Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is the new Wednesday. Once Upon a Time is back for its season 7 premiere. It is now on Fridays instead of Sundays, which is gonna take some time for me to get used to because I've been a loyal fan for 7 seasons, so to jump from Sundays to Fridays is gonna take a little bit getting used to. So, let's recap on tonight's episode. It starts off with Henry wanting to leave Storybrooke because he wants to find his own story. He has been a part of stories, but he feels like he doesn't belong. It kind of doesn't belong in them. I mean, he's the author, so he's kind of doing the behind the scenes work, in my opinion. But Regina doesn't want her son to leave. I mean, they've all finally gotten new beginnings, and Regina wants her son to stay with her, but she lets Henry go and um, realizes she won't see him for a long time because Henry only has one portal, so that means, I mean, not one portal, he has only one magic bean, so wherever he's going, he won't be able to come back for a very long time until Ursula gets another magic bean. So now, we see that there is no longer Storybrooke, it is Hyperion Heights, and a lot of things are different in Hyperion Heights, and we're just starting to get a feel of the new characters and some of familiar faces of ours who have new personas. Henry is down on his luck. He is an Uber driver, so my first thought was like, I bet you he wish he didn't left Storybook now because now he's an Uber driver. But we learned that he did write a book. I'm gonna assume this is about his stories that he's been through with the fairy tale characters that we know in Storybook. And apparently it didn't sell well, and I don't know why, because if they actually had a book like that, I'd buy it. But Lucy appears at his door, as we saw it in the season 6 finale, and tries to convince Henry that he has a daughter. And it's kind of a parallel to Emma and Henry back in the pilot episode. So I'm definitely seeing some similarities there. And of course, Henry doesn't believe that he has a daughter there. And we find out later that he does think that he has a family, but he thinks that they died in a fire, which that's actually really sad. I mean, that's his curse, of course, his curse memories, because they're in a new curse now, but that's still really sad to give him those type of memories. Um, there's also a new land where Henry ended up. Um, they didn't really say what the land is. I'm going to assume it's a new enchanted forest. And while Henry's riding on his motorcycle, he literally crashes into Cinderella's carriage. So it was definitely, I don't know if it's true love or love at first sight. Hopefully Adam can clarify that. But um, there seems to be like sparks flying and seems to be chemistry going on there. And she says that she's on her way to a ball, as we know the Cinderella fairy tale. And she doesn't want to go to a ball. We find out she wants to kill the prince because he's responsible for what happened to her father. And we also see a Lady Tremaine, and she does not want Cinderella to have a happy ending. She actually cut the wings off of Cinderella's fairy godmother. That reminded me of that live action movie Maleficent, how King Stefan cut off Maleficent's wings. I mean, that's just heartbreaking. But she wants her daughter Trisella to meet the prince instead of Cinderella. And I keep thinking, where's Anastasia? Did something maybe happen to her? Is she going to be a new character we see? But Cinderella goes to the ball and she sees Henry there, and Cinderella tells Henry about her plan to kill the prince, and Henry convinces her not to, saying that revenge will basically, just consume her. And she doesn't kill the prince, but Lady Tremaine does, and I did not see that coming at all. Wow. She actually says that, you never get your chores. She said a line like, you never get your chores done, and, Cinderella's always been known to get her chores done. But she does one thing for Lady Tremaine. She gets framed by her. So now everybody's after Cinderella because now they think that she killed the prince. So Henry tells her, come to this portal. This portal opens at midnight. I love that Cinderella reference. But I'm going to assume it's, portal or storybook. So she could have a new beginning. And when Henry gets to the portal, Cinderella's nowhere to be found. The only thing left behind is her glass slipper. And Henry sees that, so he decides not to go home right now, but to start what he says, Operation Glass Slipper. So, Hyperion Heights. Let's move on to there. It's definitely not like Storybrooke, and the one big difference is that Lady Tremaine, according to Lucy, or I should say, Lady Tremaine's character name is Victoria. Lucy said that Victoria wants that this town is full of magical creatures. I mean, not magical creatures, magical people. But she wants to move in non-magical people, so it'll kick the magical people out. So, Lucy is trying to get Henry to believe again, and she goes as far as to steal his laptop. And she says to meet at Ronnie's. Well, lo and behold, Ronnie's is our lovely queen, Regina. So her persona is Ronnie, and she owns this bar and grill. And it was kind of sad because Ronnie didn't recognize that Henry was her son. And they kind of have a talk, and Henry talks about how he's down on his luck and everything. And it seems like everybody in Hyperion Heights is down on their luck. Jacinda, who is Cinderella, she works at this, it looks like a chicken fast food place, and she's raising Lucy as a single mom, and she doesn't like her job very much. Her boss is a major ass, and she actually stands up for a coworker who he's abusing and says that she's not going to work here anymore. And we find out that she they didn't, I had a little hard time understanding this. Jacinda and Victoria share custody of Lucy. I believe that's what it is. They share custody. Apparently, Jacinda, from what Victoria said, that she is a day drinker, so I don't know if she was implying that Jacinda's an alcoholic or what, but Victoria wants Lucy to live with her permanently, which Jacinda doesn't want that. Lucy surely doesn't want that. So Jacinda wants to run off with Lucy, and Lucy, of course, doesn't want to. And she wants to start a new beginning, and so does Lucy. They both want things to change in Hyperion Heights. And Victoria is on a mission to make sure that things stay the same. And what's interesting is that Henry meets, both in the fairy tale world and the regular world, Alice. And he drinks something at the ball, and it, I guess Alice poisoned his drink, and he says that his grandpa Gold is looking out for him, and that he should go back home, that this isn't Henry's story yet, and when you don't follow your own story, bad things happen. And it's kind of hinted that Alice is the one that stole Henry's car. So it looks like Alice is kind of a baddie in Hyperion Heights. And we also see that Gold is one of the fairy tale characters that's in Hyperion Heights. I didn't know what he was doing. He was like holding someone's head underwater, so I thought, is he a villain or something? Is he like the mob boss of Hyperion Heights? But then I saw later in the episode, we see that Hook is also one of the other storybook residents that's in Hyperion Heights. He is apparently a cop. And he helps Henry track his car down, but he also helps Victoria find Lucy when she runs away. And we see that Because of that, he got promoted to detective, and now they're introducing him to his partner, and lo and behold, his partner is Gold. So now they're partners, and if you've watched Once Upon a Time from the start, you know those two have been enemies from the start. So this will be very interesting to see Gold and Hook working together. But what was interesting to me is that when Hook was given the Once Upon a Time book by Drusilla, she wanted him to like burn it or get rid of it somehow. It looked like to me he was starting to remember things, and he even saw a picture of Emma. So I don't know if that's the thing that woke him up or what. But yeah, there's definitely parallels to the pilot episode. Like I mentioned, Lucy and Henry's relationship, how she's trying to get him to believe that that's his daughter, that she's his daughter, and that he has a wife out there. And also parallels with Jacinda and Lucy with how Emma and Henry's relationship was in season one. But the one thing that was different is that they didn't share custody of Henry in season one. Um, I don't know. I kind of felt like they were making Regina look like a villain because I guess Victoria is like the parallel of Regina, and Regina's worked so hard and come so far, and it just seemed like to me they were villainizing her again. And um, with Victoria, she wants what's best for her girls being Jacinda and Lucy, and I guess Drusilla too. But she wants to protect Lucy because if Jacinda's has a rocky road, especially if she's an alcoholic, which we don't know that yet, but that's what Victoria was implying, then she doesn't want Lucy around that, and that's understandable. And Regina in the pilot episode didn't want Henry around Emma. I mean, she didn't even know Emma. I mean, she wasn't going to let Henry around some stranger. And I also found a parallel to Emma and Henry's relationship is that Jacinda wanted to take Lucy without Victoria's permission. I mean, I would think they would need permission if they share custody of Lucy. So, yes, it looked like she was going to kidnap Lucy. And back in season 2 of Once Upon a Time, Emma took Henry across state lines to Manhattan without Regina's permission. So, I could definitely see some parallels there. I mean, this similarities there, I mean. But we see that Hyperion Heights is kind of everyone's at a crossroads right now and wants things to change. And Ronnie seems like the one that is gonna help with change. It seems like a lot of people are gonna help make change happen in Hyperion Heights, but Ronnie is the first to take a stand because apparently her bar was going to be shut down because of Victoria. She's buying out everything. And Ronnie said she's not going to let her push people around. She's certainly not going to let her take her bar away. This is her home. This is her job. This is her job. This is where she belongs, and this is where everyone comes together. She isn't going to let her push people around anymore, and Victoria kind of threatens her. And Ronnie said she was inspired by Jacinda for standing up for the little guy. So it seems like Jacinda, Ronnie, and Lucy are going to make sure that change happens. I mean, Jacinda inspired it, but I have a feeling that Lucy and Ronnie are going to be the ones to make change happen here. And one thing really spoke to me. It was what Ronnie said at the end to Victoria. And I wrote this down because I just thought it was very beautiful. She said, things seem hopeless until someone gives us inspiration. The first step to a new beginning is believing that one is possible. Those were very powerful words by Lana. I thought that really hit home with me. Lana and Regina inspired me to start a new beginning, and I didn't think one was possible until I met Lana and until I saw Once Upon a Time. So I have them both to thank for that. But I was very skeptical about this whole reboot and recasting characters that have already been on the show. I'm still a little skeptical about that. How there's new Alices, new Cinderellas, and new this. And Henry, that's kind of what Henry said at the beginning of the episode, that there's so many characters, there's dozens of books, but there's only one Henry, and that's what makes Henry so special, that there's only one of him. So I'm a little bit skeptical about that, but I'm definitely going to stick with this series. I definitely think they've done a nice job with this episode. The characters are all fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing the stories unfold. I didn't think I would like Jacinda at first, but she seems like a really good character. I'm really looking forward to seeing her story and her background. And I think the real showstoppers of the night were Lucy. I love her. She definitely inherited the Mill sass from Cora, Zelena, and Regina. I believe that trait's hereditary. But she is definitely the new truest believer. She obviously takes after her dad, and the actress that plays her seems very talented, and seems like her talent shows through her role as Lucy, and it looks like she has a fun time with it. I'm looking forward to learning more about Lucy, and I definitely think Lana's new character, Ronnie, will be a fan favorite. I mean, her character, Regina, and the Evil Queen have always been a fan favorite for many, but Ronnie, I feel like she'll inspire many. Like, Ronnie is the type that is the hero and speaks out for the underdog. She has no regrets, and she'll fight for what's right. So I definitely think she'll inspire a lot of people. She's already inspiring me already. So yeah, definitely a great start to season 7. I definitely hope they continue with it. Where I'm hoping doesn't happen is that there's supposed to be a rumor that Ronnie gets a romance. So I'm hoping that they don't do what they usually do when when Lana's characters get a romance, that she falls in love and then they kill them off. It's just ridiculous at this point. I believe that both Ronnie and Regina deserve a happy ending, or a new beginning with somebody. And I'm very curious, now that I'm thinking of it, are we going to see anything about the Evil Queen? Because they did split from each other, so the Evil Queen still does exist. So I'm wondering, is there a separate story with her and the Dream World Robin Hood? Are we going to see any of that happen, like what happened with their story? And also, I'm just very curious to see where these stories go. There is supposed to be an LGBT character this season, so I know many people will be happy with that. And I know a lot of people are disappointed about our storybook characters won't be in this season, but we've heard a lot of characters, familiar faces, are coming back. Belle will be back for an episode. We see in a preview for next week, Emma will be back for at least one episode. Zelena, I was very disappointed and upset that Zelena was gone, because she finally was able to get some redemption, and now she's gone. Well, apparently she's back for multiple episodes, so I'm definitely happy about that. And I think that's it. I think Snow and Charming are supposed to come back at some point. I'm not sure when, but anyway, great episode. If you guys want to check Once Upon a Time, it is on a new night on Fridays, 8 p.m. on ABC. Until next time, stay regal.